on the news in South Africa multiple times, you and your brother as well. I can't forget to mention your family because it seems like that's where it all started, right? Can you talk about how you kind of decided to come here and play for Illinois?
Yeah, you know, when I first came, got recruited by a lot of schools, so it was pretty cool, obviously, to get that attention from multiple schools and stuff. And I initially verbally committed to Pepperdine.
Really?
Yeah, verbally committed to Pepperdine. At the time, I was a little bit unsure about my tennis and if I still wanted to go pro or not.
Really?
And and then just before, and then I decommitted. And a couple weeks later, I had a couple good results. I had some futures in Egypt, in a couple of quarters and semifinals. So then I was like, you know, I'll give it a go again. Yeah. And that's when Brad and Coach, you know, started talking to me. And I had a conversation with Kevin Anderson before about college and Illinois and stuff like that. So that obviously helped. And once I talked to Brad and Coach, it was pretty natural and easy. So I mean, I already know the history of the program, so that made it, you know, a lot better for me. It made me want to come here a lot more. So, you know, that's how I found myself over here.
It's kind of crazy how two great South Africans have made their way into this program. How is your relationship with Kevin? Because I know Brad's developed one already, and they've gone from coach to mentor to now like friends that constantly talk. How would you describe that mentorship that Kevin had on you for coming here?
I'd describe it as he had a pretty big impact on me making my decision to come here. You know, I've had, you know, I wouldn't say a lot of conversations with him, but I've had more than one conversation with him, and I've practiced with him too. So, you know, he's a very nice guy. He's always, you know, treated me nice and respectful of me. And obviously look up to him as a South African who's, you know, made it from South Africa, made waves here at Illinois, and then carried on professionally. So he's definitely someone I look up to, and he's always, him and his wife have always been nice to me. So I think, you know, from in terms of being a mentor, he's definitely played a role in my career and my decision coming into.
Absolutely. And kind of going off that idea of family too, your brother as well. Like you two, you share a Twitter account. Both of you have been on South African news. Both of you have had kind of a starlight on you since you were 14. Can you talk about your relationship with your brother and why, and like, how that dynamic has kind of grown over the years?
It's very interesting.
How so?
Because, you know, when we first started, you know, normal, your usual brother relationship, we used to fight so much. We were growing up all the time. But we always were very close, just because we both love sports and, you know, we're both very competitive. But we, you know, love each other, so we're always very close. And I think when we started doing really good, there's always, you know, people comparing and like, oh, like, you know, if he's doing a little bit better than I am for a couple months, and oh, like he's better, and people trying to, you know, split us apart. But I think my parents did a good job of always, you know, grounding us and telling us that, you know, it doesn't matter who does better and who does what. You know, you guys always be brothers, so always stay close. And I think we always kept that with each other, whether we did good or I did bad, or you know, I did good and he did bad. I think it's always been important for us to keep a good relationship with each other besides the tennis. And I think for me, I've always looked at him, yes, he's my little brother, but more like my son, you know? No, just from...
I swallowed my gum on that one.
Just, you know, from, you know, him looking up to me, but me having done so much, you know, for him, and still, and I do it just from love. I always, you know, try to help him as much as I can, and him getting love and support from other people in other countries, because I've been there before. Yeah. So I love the relationship I have with my brother, and, you know, we've always remained close, even though we're very competitive on the court. So
I was about to say, how competitive are you two? Does he always constantly give you crap on like when he sees you play? Does he always give you crap for like just anything?
Oh yeah, all the time. We give each other crap, each other, all the time.
I love that.
All the time. We always choke each other. So we, you know, it's great. We're both funny guys and love choking. So we make jokes with each other, but I think at the end of the day,
nicest way of saying
it. We make jokes with each other, but at the end of the day, we know it's just love, and I'm always gonna help him. And if he, you know, sees something that he feels like I could be better in my game, he helps me, and I'm never like, oh, he's my little brother, shut up or anything like that. You know, I listen to what he says, because he's got a good sense of the game too. So you know, it goes both ways. So
what's a piece of advice that you've given your brother, or your brother has given you, that's kind of stuck with you?
Piece of advice that I've given my brother that I know has stuck with him,
Okay.
has most definitely stuck with me too. When I gave him this advice was to believe in his own story, where he comes from. I remember this was probably a year after I just finished 2 years, and he just before he started doing really well, I just told him, because a lot of his friends when he was 12 that he met and played with in Canada, or some of them are like top 200 in the world right now. But at the time they were doing really good, playing Junior Slam and stuff, and he wasn't there yet. So I just told him to take his time, and everyone has their own journey. And just because I remember we'd share a couch or a mattress on the floor. So I just told him, look, I made top 100 in the world sleeping on the floor on a mattress next to you. There's no reason why you can't make top 100 and you can do better than that. And I think that motivated him a lot, and he just realized the strength that he has. We may not have had the resources of other players, but we had something, I think, internally in terms of our drive and heart that other players didn't have, and he used that and went crazy.
He's gone nuts since then, getting praise from multiple big names like Judy Murray and Andy as well. How would you, and kind of sticking with family as well, the video of you showing your mom the All-American banner, what was that like?
Man, special.
Really?
Special.
Yeah.
It's just very special because that was one of my biggest goals when I first came here. Just, have myself up on the banner so that my legacy's there. I always like to leave a legacy wherever I go, and my parents always knew I really wanted that, and it was just crazy to actually finally see it up there, because I'd had a great season, but I don't think I really realized how good of a season I had until I saw the banner up there and started playing back the season I had. So it was just special for her to see too. And she was very excited. She was crying. So
was that your main goal for the season? Because obviously you guys won the Big Ten. You got the championship ring, made NCAAs. What other goals do you have before you leave here? What's one goal that you want to accomplish?
National championship. All-American was definitely a big goal. Big Ten was a big goal. I think before I leave, definitely national championship. That's always been a huge one for me. I think even though my recruiting was not so bright, I come here, I just want to win trophies. I love winning trophies. I love trophies. That's what I want to do. So that's definitely the big one that
even Brad said that there's not enough trophies in his office yet, so I think you guys got a lot more to look forward to. And to kind of keep it a little bit lighthearted, I just have some questions about you and your teammates that you might like to answer. Because I already asked Olivier earlier today, who is the best dressed on your team?
Best dressed?
Yeah.
That's it's the guy you're interviewing right now. I mean,
he said the same thing. Don't worry. He said the same thing. In terms of a clutch shot, like 1 point to win a match, who are you choosing from your team to hit that shot?
That's a tough one. I think there's a few guys I'll pick for that. I don't think there's like only one guy.
Okay. So break it down. Who would you pick for what?
Ollie, he's backhand up the line. That's a very flat, consistent replacement. I think me, definitely forehand.
Okay.
Forehand on the run.
Oh yeah.
Forehand. And Q, big serve.
I was about to say lefty big serve. That's
definitely a big one. Q serve because his serve is ridiculous. He hits it at 138 and it's got so much kick, so much spin. He can. I mean, he's hit a couple flat serves against me in practice at 145. So
it's shocking, really. And who is the best and worst teammate to go with on a trip?
Best, definitely Q. That's my homie.
Okay.
Worst, I'd have to say Petrov.
Why? Because
his feet smell so bad. It smells so bad. Like, I'm being nice. His feet smell so bad.
Good save right there.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me today.